Hello, hello. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Pressel. So I have not finished raising my desk because I knocked a bunch of things over. What is this? Keyboard. All right. Let's see if I can finish raising this. Yeah, that's pretty good. Even a little lower. All right. Yeah, so afternoon, we are going to do some little follow-up pieces of work and then hopefully publish. Yeah. All right. Need to follow up on the parts of this issue, namely changing the tip system so it's clear how you upgrade. Yeah, I think this is going to be wrong now. Oh, by the way, there was a message in Steam chat. I figured I'd open it because there'd been more visibility into the game. So I opened Steam chat right before the stream ended, and I saw this message from I don't even know when. But they said, this game is amazing. Just play the demo. Wow, you're cooking wild. I am cooking wild. Thank you. I can't wait how it'll turn out. Thank you so much for the effort. I'm grateful for what you created. Anyway, this is super cool. It'd be nice if I could see the Steam chat somewhere more persistent. But I guess it's just lost to the ether now. In fact, actually, something I just realized, we could look at the Steam page and see from this how many eyes are on the page right now from, yeah, so it's 5. So not many. I don't think that'll change throughout this. Well, I have the chat open, but I have enough space on my monitor. All right, so Canyon tip. Let's go look at this stuff. Tip system. Canyon. Beat first elite. No, it's not that. It's upgrade the portal, right? Where is that? Augment portal. Here it is. All right, so what does it say right now? You have enough money to unlock the canyon. Click the portal. And then the upgrade button. So there's no upgrade button anymore. And when you first launch the game, the map shows the canyon slightly out of view. So you need to actually drag it to here. So maybe we should just have the map start you in this view. Yeah, because I'm concerned someone's going to be like, oh, what do I do? It'll be click the portal and then maybe for the sake of the tutorial, it should sort of force you into this camera view. Because you might have moved around and you're like, all right, whatever, let's just fight in the forest. So you're fighting the forest and then it tells you to click the portal and upgrade it. And you're like, what? How do I do that? Maybe it should just say click the portal and then the unlock button over the... How about you have enough money to visit a new location? Click the portal and then the unlock button. And then click the unlock button over the canyon. Yeah. Maybe you have enough money to battle at a new location. All right, and I think we need to move the camera. Should show the canyon. Yeah, I have some default thing happening here. I don't even know where that is. Instance map or instance map camera. Where do we start this thing? Midpoint of town and forest. Yeah, I think we should do is just center on the center of the forest maybe, or even show you something like this, like right here, whatever this camera position is, that's what we want. So maybe what we do is just get the map marker of the forest and just set it to there and see what that does for us. Camera position. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's pretty good. You can still see the town, you can see the forest, and you can see the canyon. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So that's finished. That's some cool stuff. If Mitch ever makes a game, the kinds of messages we can expect. How's it going, Mitch? Welcome back. Post-morning stream. Should be obvious to players that they can't select a location, sort of like how casting a spell should give you the error in floating text. You haven't unlocked that location yet. Can we even easily put text on this thing? We probably can. We have a camera. Let's see. Do we have unhandled input here? No. So let's go add one in. I'm going to just type page up. And then in here, we're going to do floating text dot create. Yeah, doesn't let me do that. Create floating using camera. So is this taken? A parent note, well, a whole bunch of stuff. So let's just copy all of this over to here. Parent, we're going to have be this for now. Camera, we're going to set it to the only camera we have. Text is testeroni. Position is going to be maybe wherever the forest is. How's that sound? That sounds pretty good. Then the colors dot red, sure. And floating text scenario dot UI message. Whatever we do for creating the not enough mana. Yeah, here it is. So where's that? Yeah, UI message. Okay, let's try that out. How many Git subs would one have to hypothetically give if you say just one curse word? I don't plan on doing that on stream. Now, I guess there is a cost for anything. If I got like $1 million, I'd probably do it. Yeah, sell out. I mean, there's a limit to everything, right? Think about this. Let's say you asked, hey, how much would it be for you to get yourself banned from Twitch? I bet if you asked most streamers and you offered them $5 million, almost every single streamer would say yes to that. The very, very top streamers, the ones who were making more money than that, or who could make more money than that, maybe they'd be like, no, or I actually enjoy streaming. But most people would just be like, yes, immediately. Thought about to offer 99K. Yeah, not enough. Wouldn't do it. People would be like, what's going on in this game? There's a bunch of random messages. It's rambling about a million different things all the time. It would be kind of interesting to see what that turns out to be. There are a lot of zany games out there and things that you wouldn't think would work, but that end up working somehow. I do not see any text here. Oh, there it is. What is going on here? Oh, it's moving in like a weird way. Huh. I don't know what's doing that. But I think what I need to do is position it inside the instance map and not wherever I put it. Instance map. Is that not a thing? Is it underscore instance map? Oh, no, it is this. What am I talking about? Yeah, just the map should have it. But then what's the problem here? What is the problem with this? Inside of viewport, so you probably don't want it there? Let me look at the scene tree. Instance map. If I put it here, where's the camera? The camera's here. And how do we do this in the town? The town has a camera there. And I don't even know where we put floating text in the town. Floating text. UI.floating text node. Oh, we need it in screen space, right? Okay. So let's make a canvas layer here. We probably want this in a different node altogether, but I just want to test this out for now. So now instead of this, we do get node canvas layer. Usually have a way to tie them all together. It's not how my brain works. But what if there was a way that you didn't have to tie anything together? Also, in a sense, isn't that kind of like the micro games, like WarioWare? I don't think I've played one of these, but I think it was just a million different tiny games. And the only real connection was presumably a score or a, I don't know what. Why is this not showing any of the games? Well, all right. Anyway, I can't find anything like this. Oh, this, I guess, is maybe the best thing for it. Yeah, anyway, there are games that just threw you in. Maybe not these exactly, but you had like 5 seconds to play and then you just moved on to something else. Oh, the put your code here is actually something that's in the snippet that I have. That way I know that I put it above the get viewport handled instead of below it. Yeah, party game. Yeah, see? We're making you $5 million, Mitch. Think about it. Hey, nice. That worked. Yeah, so it just needs to be in a canvas layer. Although I guess there's a bigger problem, which is that the text is unreadable right now. We could make some like mega text thing that makes it much larger. But yeah, you'd want to even be able to read it when it's like this. It's just like 20 font sizes too small. Now this might be because this is all inside of a viewport. So we look inside the battle panel tab. And yeah, there's this thing. So what we could do is we could try to put this. We could try to put it here. Like add a canvas layer. I mean, this looks like it's the right size, but I don't actually know. There's a follow viewport. Yeah, I have no idea. All right, so let's put this here. And let's move this entire code over to the battle panel. Unhandled input doesn't exist. All right, so the camera is going to be the instance maps camera. Instance map.get map marker. This is private. Well, we're making it public for now. And then floating text scenario, we just need to import. I just want to figure out, can we get this to look good? I would like a few $1 million. Maybe I'll consider making a knockoff Oreo game. Just call it Mitch.io. You can add these to the control for anchoring. Maybe rename that to map UI. No need for new canvas layer. That's already in the UI layer. I just want to see if this would look better. And the answer is no, it's still super tiny. But yeah, I'll try putting them in the control for anchoring thing. Where is that? Here. Delete this thing. The little testaronis on the side, yeah. We need them to be a readable size, which is apparently not achievable through this. Where is this even rendering now? Does anyone see red text on the screen? Because I don't. Yeah, I don't see anything anywhere. Hmm. There's already the UI layer. Thing is, we need this to be positioned inside, like the floating text needs to be inside of something that's going to get clipped. And I guess the instance map itself is already clipped. Like adding any text to any of this stuff doesn't really help me, does it? In fact, we should just try that, right? If I just say floating text here, can we change its editable children? Can we change this label? It says text goes here already. So we can write testeroni here. But yes, this is very small. And we can't position this because we need this to be in a different place. But nothing's going to make this larger. Then this node has clipping enabled. Are they off? I'm not sure where it's trying to render. But I also... I guess the other thing we do is this. We can move this thing, right? No, we can't. Why? Children in a container get their thing. This is not a container, though. Why can't I move this? Oh, now I can. What? Yeah, so this is really tiny. How do we get this to be larger? I guess we're just going to have to change the font size. So I think putting it in the instance map is actually okay. No, wait. No, that's all getting it transformed by the viewport. So that is a bad idea. Yeah, I'm moving the label. I recognize that. I just want to see how we'd get this to be the right size. But I don't think any of these things are going to change the size of this. So why doesn't the text look that tiny when we get sludge, for example? I guess when zoomed out, it's the same size as what we were seeing over here. And that zooming in did make it larger. So we just need the size to be much bigger. Maybe we make some instance map scenario. That'd probably be fine. Okay. So we just got to figure out where we're going to put this. And yeah, it's probably in one of these sorts of things. This doesn't have clipping on, does it? It does. That's actually fine though. And yeah, I do think this would be okay for this to go in, but it isn't showing up. Element portal and a margin container. Control for anchoring. Does that... Oh, that doesn't exist? Oh, well, then that's a problem. Okay, so that's why we didn't see anything this whole time. Because I'm being a dummy. Okay, so if we move this off the screen, you can't see this anymore. Good. And now let's go make a new scenario thing. We'll say instance map equals 5. And we got to go look for wherever we customize this stuff. What is this? Duration? I think 4 seconds is fine. But we need to customize the font size now. Where's the font size? Here it is. Update position, font size. Maybe there should be like a font size multiplier. If scenario... Where is the scenario? We don't save this? Oh no. We don't save this. All right, we could just change the font size directly in here. May need another control in between. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. All right, well, how about this? For now, let's just put a font size equals 40 here. Just see what happens. No, wait, you can't do that. What am I doing? That's not a BB code tag. We got to make a custom tag for that. Ignore all of that. Font size equals 40 / font size. Now there's text you can trust. Oh, except for when you zoom, it changes the size in an irreparable way. No, it's just always the same size. Wait a second, that's not what we want. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is actually kind of what I wanted over here this whole time that we never got working. Is that whatever text you have when you... Oh, now it is doing that. Oh, which means I probably broke something. Oh, because we're overriding the font size. I see. Yeah, so we need to just make a multiplier over there. Okay. It's actually pretty interesting. I wonder if that would be good to have. It could be an accessibility feature we added. But yeah, so there's got to be some kind of font size multiplier based on the scenario, but we don't save the scenario. So I guess the way I'd probably want to do this is a font size multiplier. Font size multiplier equals 1. And then down here, multiply this by the multiplier. Why is that problematic? Cannot convert from float to int. Oh, I see. This carrot's slinging over to the thing. Yeah, it was a mini game. Got the idea from you. Create floating text. Okay, so now let's put this in. So font size multiplier equals scenario switch. So if it's the... Yeah, sure, whatever. If it's basically anything other than this one, let me do that. And now when we run, we'll have 4 times the font size for the instance map, but everything else should be normal. That does not look like 4 times the size that it should be. What happened here? Let's put a breakpoint there. Should be multiplying by 4, right? It's multiplying by 1? Is it not using instance map for this? When I create a new one of these? Scenario is UI message. Oh, whoops. I never even used this. Whoops. All right, that should fix it. So now it should be 4 times the size that it was, which is still probably not big enough. Million or two from your solid millions. You do deserve some of the money, some of your sub money. Hey, Jigsaw, welcome in. When's the next fest? So if you mean when's the next fest, the next fest is in October, but we can't participate in that. The next festival in general, I don't know when there will be one that I can participate in, but it'll probably be after the launch of the game. Okay, so yeah, what I'm thinking here is when you click one of these things, we could show text over it saying you haven't unlocked this area yet. But I don't really know if that's even helpful. Because it should probably tell you how to fix that. Created the most complicated money laundering scheme. I've subbed to your Twitch channel. You have to give it back to me eventually. Complicated and worthless. Switching from GDScript to C# had to be a difficult curve, didn't it? No, it wasn't bad. If you already know C#, then you're changing very little about your code, I'd say. Is this where I learned to be a game dev? It is. Thanks to the resub, Matt. How you doing? Switching from Godot to Unity as of last week. Yeah, I don't think you should have a hard time. I think the harder part is switching from Godot to Unity. Because if you're using C# and Godot, then the language shouldn't be the issue, but the paradigms that Unity uses are going to be different. And then also just the APIs are going to be different. A lot of things are going to be different. But the language won't be. The language should be pretty much the same. Although I think Unity pins to a certain .NET version, so you might actually downgrade to use it. Gotta pick up my kids and probably mow the grass or something. All right, take care, Mitch. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the resub earlier. Also, please be mindful of segmenting in chat, Jigsaw. Okay, so we can go try this out. It'll say you haven't unlocked this area yet. I don't really think this is that helpful. Like, are people confused why they can't click this? It says defeat the elite monster in the previous location to unlock this one. I guess we'd just be getting that text to render there. Busy. Yeah, I feel you. It's been like that for me. And will probably be like that for me for the next few months. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, Kevin changed this so that the battle map now takes up the entirety of this panel. And now if you ever do have an error, like let's say you don't have someone in your party, it just shows here. I'm just not sold on this text. I think I'm leaning toward no, that I don't want to do this. Also, yeah, Kevin was right. This will show up on top of these things. Getting off the pip. Can't imagine Kevin ever being on a pip. Yeah, all right. I don't think we're going to do this. I guess I'll just write a note about where we put this if I did want to do it. So we didn't need this at all. Yeah, we put this in the control for anchoring, but it would have messed this up. I looked into doing this, but I'm not sold. I looked into creating floating text on the instance map, but I'm not sold that it's actually good. It's a performance improvement plan. It's generally before firing employees, what you have to do. Like, hey, your performance hasn't been good, so here's ostensibly what you have to do to make it better. But typically it's like, well, we documented how it's not good. There's no way for you to fix it. We're going to fire you in 6 or 12 months. It's not entirely fair. People have recovered from pips. Okay, so I added this here. I added the text to the in the battle map panel, but it does cover the bottom elements if you do that. I was like, picture in picture. Okay, so here's this. And then here's the picture of it covering the stuff on the bottom. And then I just want the code. Oh, this we want to check in still. That shouldn't be public. This is inside the battle panel tab. Yeah. Loading text code. So CS battle panel tab.cs. We paste that in. And then the other bit goes in here. Loading text. That I kind of want to print out as a diff. Get status, get diff, this thing. It kind of works. Can't you export this to a patch file? A.patch? Yeah. All right, we'll just put that in here. This is for floating text.cs. Okay, so both of those should have proper syntax highlighting. Yeah. All right, I think that's fine. Let's delete it all now. Delete, delete. Delete all of this. There's something we want to save. I don't remember this one. We don't want to save anything else. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we don't want that. Oh, that we do want to keep. And this we don't need. Okay, yeah, that jittery thing, that diff view always kind of messes up. Okay, so this is start instance map camera on the forest. We used to start it farther down. But now that you unlock the canyon via a button on the canyon itself, I want it. Oh, this is going to be. Ooh. This is going to be difficult for people to tell that they have a change they can make in the map, right? Yeah, I wonder if this is off screen, if it would help to be like, you have a location you can unlock and put a little radar thingy over there. Because, yeah, I could totally see the battle map getting highlighted. It's not highlighted now. Why is it not highlighted now? I think we used to highlight it. I don't think we do anymore. I wonder if the PR changed that. All right, well, if we just save this, and then I go and load up whatever last version of the game we output. Yeah, let's get that. Tools, open, exported Mac build. Are they new or are you just seeing them? I think they've been there for a while at this point. Okay, battle map is actually not green. Huh. Also, this says to upgrade your portal. It's not really... I should say unlock new locations, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, so you're not gonna oh wait, it does turn green. Oh, it's only when you get money though. Yeah. So when you load a game, it's not green by default. Oh, the load button's not even working anymore. That's not good. Object reference not set to an oh yeah, I know why that's happening, because the guild save data is not there. Okay, so then we know that this should turn green, and it's not turning green anymore. So we're gonna have to pip somebody, but it's got to be someone whose name starts with a K. So if anyone sees any of those people in chat, just let me know. Yeah, so now if we get money... No, wait, I load the game first. Whoops. Wish list on Steam. I honestly didn't mean to press that. Oh, it is turning green still. Okay. So that means that there's a slightly different bug then. When you beat the forest, it should highlight battle map green, but it doesn't. But typically you'd have item sales, so you'd never notice. Okay, I don't really care to fix that. What I do care to fix is we got to figure out how to make it obvious that this thing is here. Because right now it's in view, but what happens when it's up here and you're not paying attention to that? I don't know. Maybe I should just watch people play the game and see what they think. It'll probably be less obvious when it's green on green over here. I guess let's try it out. Yeah, it probably needs a glow or something. How would you name Quickie Joe? Haven't seen that name in chat yet. Yeah, these changes are definitely looking good. I guess we do this, and I think we need to flash the button. The unlock button should change shades of green to make it stand out more. Can you add a shader to a button? Is that a thing you can do? Material. Oh, you can. Oh. Interesting. So we could add like a rainbow outline shader or something. In fact, we should probably test that out. Test adding the crop shader to buttons to make them stand out. Elite defeated appeared behind the battle window. Is that how it's supposed to be? I believe so, yeah. Well, let me put it this way. That's how it was coded to be. And I've kind of waffled on whether that's how it should be. And I think what I said is that now that we have large battle windows, it's obvious enough you're in a boss battle. And now we have the snakes too. In fact, Matt, if you haven't seen this, I should show you this. Check this out. Okay, you ready? Wait, it didn't work. Am I on the wrong branch? No. It's not merged? Oh, yeah, it's not merged. Okay, never mind. Don't check this out, Matt. Look away. Don't look me in the eyes. More obvious that there's... So excited now. I'll show you the picture in the PR because this looks amazing. Take a look at what Quickie Joe drew here and what Kevin implemented. So these are the boss battle windows. They have snakes on the outside, a bone border, and then a slightly different title bar. So yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. I think it's going to be clear that this is a boss battle. Okay, so this part's done. Town menu says unlock new locations. This tip, you have enough money to battle at a new location. Click the portal and then click the unlock button over the canyon. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm really happy with it. Okay, so this stuff is fine. And like I said, I think I want to change the unlock button. Oops, I didn't mean to save. Or just add in the glowing border like crops have. I think that could be really interesting for something like this. And I guess we could try it out really fast, right? It doesn't hurt. We go into battle panel tab, we click this, and then I add a shader onto here. Let's check in what I've done so far before I forget. Update some wording to match unlock. You used to upgrade the portal, but now you unlock new locations. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious. Will this look good? Will it look terrible? Shader. And let's get our... Actually, let's get the glowy fish shader. Let's just try that. Oh, that messes everything up. Look at how messed up that is. Does it look bad even inside the game? It probably does. Yeah, why is it doing that? It's like... It put the button at the upper right? Bunch of strange stuff happening there. Let's try with a different shader. Let's try with the outline shader. Okay, that's a little better, I guess, but that's still pretty bad. Line width is set pretty high. Transparency threshold. Whoa. You can have it outline the text if you wanted to. Yeah, we need to make this work only for the button. Alter line over time. Is it supposed to go from cyan to yellow? Why is it not doing that? Oh, because this wasn't done? I'm confused. But I don't really care. I just want to see what this looks like in the games. Let's try that. No, it's broken. I'm not totally sure why that's happening. It might be how the button is centered. What if I say flat on the... Oh, that just removes that. Yeah, that won't help me. Although it might look a little different. No, you just can't see anything now. If I turn that off, then yeah, you can see the corner of the button. Huh. Well, there's probably a shader for buttons if we try to find one. Maybe. Shaders. How do we find... Oh, there are very few. Oh, there's also one for canvas items. What if we did that? Because right now we have a shader material on this. But we could add a canvas item material. We don't have any of these, though. Oh, wait, what? You can't even... Hang on, I'm confused. Yeah, you said a shader on this, but on canvas item materials, you don't do anything? Oh, crazy. We could do... what is it even mixing with? What is this? What is a canvas item material? There's no documentation for that? Canvas item material. Use a shader material to more fully customize the material's interactions with the canvas item. I don't understand how this even works. Give it a blend mode. Is it with what's underneath? Is that what I'm changing? I'm trying to figure out what you'd even do with this thing. And I guess it is. Yeah, I guess you'd use this on something that's already textured so that you're saying how it blends with what's beneath it. So I suppose the way we could do this is we could put a button on top of this that has this to try to make it stand out a lot more. So basically just revert this thing and then co-locate a button right on top of this, which we probably can't even do at this point. Oh, we could. And then give this thing the canvas item material that has add. Okay. Yeah. So there's no way to make this look good. Maybe also with a modulate on this. Okay, actually that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. And we could change the color to make it clear that you can unlock this. Although this looks bad. I guess something like that would be better. Unfortunately, there's no easy way of setting this up without making the other button. I think what we need to do is underneath this button, make a texture rectangle that has multiply set or something. Or is color rectangle a thing? Yeah, color rectangle. So I do this. I have this span the entire thing. Then I set its material to multiply maybe. No, that doesn't work. Unshaded light only. I want it to only... I don't know what I'm trying to do. But I think it should look light right now. Yeah, there it is. And then we change this... Yeah, so something like that, and then we can make it glow more obviously. So we could do something like this and have it glow. But it's coloring the outsides of this too, and I don't want it to do that. And that's where I would expect multiply to do something for me. I just don't know what. Yeah, like what is this blend mode? Multiplicative blending mode. Or mix. Colors are assumed to be independent of the alpha. Okay, maybe mix would work. Except for I don't think it did. No, because it's going to mix with the background as well. So it had to be multiply, but then none of this actually does anything, does it? Oh, I see. It just can't be white at that point. But it's still going to change whatever's in the background. I mean, you could try to do something like this. Oh, it's still going to make the corners look weird. Man. Yeah, so we'd have to make another button that looks identical and then change the other button. Or we'd have to make a shader that doesn't just make everything look like trash. Okay, fine. Let's try the shader route. So new shader material, new shader, testeroni shader, open up the shader, fragment, if color.rgba GD shader. Let's do something like this. How about just if color.a is greater than 0, then color.rgb times equal 1.5. Yeah, so this takes everything that is opaque here and lightens it. And if after that we did color dot, actually we could just multiply the whole thing by a vector, right? Vec3 0.7 RGB. Should make it greener than it normally is, right? Yeah, nice. That's actually much more legible than what we had before. So this could just be our shader, and then we could make some like, I don't know, float t equals sine time, and then do this times t, and it should change a little bit. I mean, I'm changing every color right now, and the sine of time is going from -1 to 1, so we need to normalize this a little bit. We'd probably do it like t divided by Maybe 5. So now it'll go from 1.3 to 1.7. Except for I meant for that to be a plus. All right, so now it's going to be various shades of green in there. And maybe that's getting a little too bright. I don't know, but that definitely stands out more. So yeah, I wonder if we should just apply this when you can unlock this thing rather than changing the modulate. I'm leaning toward yes on this. And do we have this anywhere else in the game? We have these that turn green, but they were already pretty white to begin with, so them turning green actually looks kind of fine. Although I think having the shader would be nice. I don't recall if all shaders have the same time parameter, like if they're synchronized, because I'd want them to be synchronized. But yeah, I think applying this to the unlock button would be a good idea. Okay, then let's save the shader as something that actually is meaningful instead of testeroni. All right, so where do we save our other shaders? Inside this, can we copy a path to this? We can. There's no easy way to do what I want to do, is there? Oh yes, there is. I just drag this here. Okay, that didn't work. What's going on? What is going on? Move to scenes, resources, shader. Yeah, move. Okay, that worked. And then instead of testeroni, let's rename this to, where's rename? There. Let's rename it to highlight button. Well, that's easy. Called for every pixel, for every light affecting the canvas item. I don't care about that. And I probably don't even need this here. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so that is on the augment portal button, but we need a way of turning this off. So there are a couple different ways we can do this. We have outline holder, and it has a set this to false. What this is doing is it's setting a shader parameter here. So what we could do is we could just have an on or off parameter. There's a cat hair on the keyboard. Is there any other thing we can do? Maybe just disable the shader. Yeah, probably just a uniform. Okay, so line color in outline shader. Where's line color? And the rest of this has a right property, right? Button shader. What I call this? Highlight shader? Highlight button. Canvas item. Yeah, that looks fine. And then this is whether or not I should do something in the editor. Updated the delete border. Awesome. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, so we'll just make a uniform here that is something. Oh, what happened to my code? No, what happened to my code? All right, let's copy this so I don't lose this. I don't know what happened there. Why that got deleted. And then let's try to make this match how I have everything else. I guess it already does. So this is going to be something like is on or is highlighting enabled equals true. Sure. And then if we want to disable this, we would need to fetch the shader and set this property on it. Okay, so then let's go to the battle panel and wherever we set the modulate to be green, which is just that one place, right? Yeah. What's this? If you haven't completed the tutorial, highlight this thing green. Interesting. All right, so I think we're going to make a static function that takes in a button and fetches this thing's shader and then sets whatever we need to set on it. Do we have any sort of like... No. We have node functions, I guess. That's an extension, though. Scene functions? No, not scene functions. I think we're going to need to make another thing here. Maybe like shader functions. All right. Make a shader functions, probably inside UI. Or maybe... I see. All right, we'll do this here. Shader functions. Okay, shader functions. This is inside game source node functions. So I'm going to make a void enable highlight shader or set highlight shader enabled. Control. Actually, it can be anything. It can just be a node, right? No. It's got to be a canvas item. What am I talking about? We know it's a canvas item. So the way this works is we're going to need to call into... Where'd it go? There was like an alter over time thing. Did I close that? I did. Here, shader material dot set. So we're going to get that. So now we need to fetch the shader material that's here. So shader material shader equals canvas item material, and then set whether or not it's enabled to is enabled. All right, what's missing from this? There. All right, so now we can just do that. So here we can call shader functions dot set. So the start button is going to be set to true here. It's going to be set to false over here. We get rid of the modulate. Oh, I meant to delete both of those. Make this an extension. Yeah, we have node extensions. I feel like I'd put this in there. Although this is an extending node. Maybe we'll make a canvas item extensions. I'll write this down though. Whoops. Make this into a canvas item extensions class. The problem is we don't even have the shader material on that button. So we got to add that. Although the function could do that too. So this is augment portal button. Augment portal button. Can upgrade. Easy. All right. Well, I think this is pretty nice. Oh, we should probably expose. Oh, we do expose that, whether it's enabled or not. We can disable it now. And then same thing over here. Does this have the modulate on it? Why is this green still? Oh, because I never used the enabled property. Okay, so if not enabled, just return. I don't even think you can do that. Can you? Using return and fragment is incorrect. Fine. Now that's definitely correct. So, okay, it's disabled right now. If I click this button, it's enabled and it highlights green and it changes its color a little bit. Yeah, looking pretty good. If we change the font color should also be changed here by the shader. So where's font normal color? Font color, there it is. All right, then we change this to white, let's say. All right, so now that's white. When we turn this on, it should turn greenish. It's probably doing that, but it's a little hard to tell. Oh, it's doing something with transparency. That might be why it's starting to look a little weird. I am finding it incredibly hard to tell. Okay, let's just set this to 0 and that'll make it very obvious. Yeah, that worked. Okay. So then yes, it is changing the color as well. I would expect it to do that. All right, so disable that by default and then add it over to here. Where's the button? There. This whole thing gets a material. Shader material, quick load in the highlight button. And then if we set it to enabled, oh, it is enabled, but it's not working. Why? Because this thing needs to be a canvas group, I think. Or because we need to put it on site on that. So copy this and put it over here. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work no matter what I do here. Yeah, It's not. It's got to be a canvas group, I think. But it should be easy enough to fix that. In fact, this is a margin container. We can just add a canvas group underneath it and then put everything underneath that. Why is that not working? Oh, because start battle button has the button and the children container in there. So then we put the whole, oh no, this isn't gonna work. We need to make, yeah. We need to make the whole thing a canvas group. And it's all a question of where we put that. I wonder how you'd apply. Merges several 2D nodes into a single draw operation. Child canvas items are drawn as a single object. Uses a custom shader to read from the back buffer to draw its children. Assigning a material overrides the built-in shader. To duplicate the behavior of the built-in shader in a custom shader, do the following. Oh, this sucks. So we need a special shader on this even if we were to be able to use this. But then that means that we can't highlight this in the same way that we highlight the other buttons. And I guess the closest approximation to that is putting the shader on here. Which isn't bad. This is only ever highlighted during the tutorial. So you just have to ignore that that gray bar is not highlighted. And if we got rid of... Could add the same shader material to all the other nodes. I guess we could, but then we need something that's aware of when to turn this thing on. Oh, it doesn't even work when you do that. Unless we add it to this node. No, how do we get it to work on the separator? It's got to explicitly be on the separator. I feel like this is a no-go. If it's the same one, you just need to change it in one place. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if it's exactly the same instance and we're just pasting between them. And then we allow ourselves to set it on here. Okay, let's try it out. Maybe it'll work, maybe not. I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn on the AC. Okay. Cool. So let's take a look at this. So start battle is not going to be green by default. We win this, and now this thing gets highlighted. All right, very cool. So now what if we don't have enough money for that? Also, this is pulsing in and out, right? Yeah, it's just a little bit subtle. We can make that less subtle. All right, so we want to burn through our money. I guess let's go through here and then just click a bunch of buttons there. That should do it. Yeah, so now we don't have enough money. And once we do have enough money, highlights green again. Perfect. So now let's go test that in the tutorial. Town, skip tutorial. This will show us if the start battle button got set correctly. We need an adventurer. No, it didn't. Also, that thing got shifted slightly. I know you can't see this because I was blocking it, but yeah, it's not getting set correctly. So it's possible that all of these are using their own shader. No, they're all pointing at the same shader material. If they all have the same shader material, then setting whether or not it's enabled on one of them should set it on all of them. But maybe that's not how that works. It must not be how it works because I guess each one has its own set of shader parameters. Wait, no, it is how that works. What? What? If you haven't completed the tutorial, set this to true. Otherwise, okay, how about this? Let's just set it to true no matter what. That way it doesn't matter. We're not waiting for some event. We can just press the M key and it'll work. Well, it'll hopefully work. So we can't press the M key because we're still in the tutorial. So let's quit the game and get out of that thing. Skip. Yeah, it's working. That's weird. That means that the bug is in here. If your number of party available adventures is 1, and you can start a battle with that adventure, and you don't have something in your battle party, and you haven't completed the tutorial, then it sets it to true. So maybe this isn't the case because I cheated more than I should have. How do we uncheat? Feature flags. So I want debug to be false. I want playtest to be true. And then I just run this. Yeah, that should do it. So yeah, maybe I was in some scenario I didn't expect to be in. Should be easy to try this now. All right, so we speed this up. Build this. Get this. Click this. Oh, it's gray. What? Why is it gray? Huh. I don't know. Let's put a breakpoint there. Did it turn green now? Because if it did, I know what happened. No, it still didn't. Town.has has completed tutorial. So we set this to true. Then I guess something's setting it to false right afterward? No. Maybe, oh, I know why. Because we're trying to set it on the start button. No, we should be trying to set it on the start button. As long as that's the start battle button. Wait, we know that's the case because, oh God. We pre-select the adventure. Yeah, but something that's weird here is we do call into this if I tweak this thing. So, okay, it just got called with false. Now I click this and close this and it gets called with true. Oh, and then I open it and it gets called with false again. Oh, okay. So then this was broken in the tutorial for a while now, but I guess this doesn't matter because you have a giant arrow pointing at it. So I think we're just going to delete this. Yeah. Now, the thing that is bad is that this arrow is messed up. So if I just go back to the title screen. Oh, wait, no, this is the old version. Okay, so watch this. Watch what happens here. We can speed this up. Okay, so we reset that back to 0. Build this. Look at the arrow. It moves left, and then it moves up and then down. So something funky's going on there. I don't know if that happens every time or just the first time you open it. No, it's just the first time you open it. There's some positioning thing that's broken such that the arrow has to like move to the side first. And it doesn't look intentional. So if we speed this up again, go back to the title. Skip this. Yeah, I wonder why that's happening. Click start battle here. That is the rich next level and start battle nudge. Maybe it can't find the right position it should be at, but then how's it finding the right destination position? So in ready, we don't do anything. Something called start tween, waiting for first battle does. Start tween once we make it visible in the tree. Huh. And it goes from... It goes from its position to just its position plus a certain number. Its X position never changes. So how's it sliding to the left? Does that make any sense? Must be clamp panel container to screen. But even this should only take 2 frames. It's like slowly sliding over, which means maybe the viewport is changing in size. Maybe it's changing as this thing slides over, and that's why. So every 2 frames, it's being moved over a little bit more. That might be what's happening. Oh, man, that would be really annoying if that's what was happening. Huh. So then what that means is we should take a picture of what it looks like when it starts. I guess I don't really need to do that. I have YouTube for that. Where am I? There I am. Yeah, so it was after this. And then I click the battle map. Hey, Sully. So here's what it looks like. This doesn't look like it's out of the bounds of this thing, but it might be. So now I go 2 frames forward. Wait, that's 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I even moving forward by frames? Yeah, I am. All right, yeah. So where does it start? It starts there. Yep, it starts there. So after some number of frames, it bumps itself to the left by 1 pixel. And then some other seemingly large number of frames. Let me see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it's somewhere like 18 or 19. I think I miscounted the first one. I'm not totally sure. So I don't know why it would take 18 or 19 frames. This video is in 60 frames per second. So that's like a third of a second. I don't know what would make it take that long. Unless, okay, I think I know what could happen. We're clamping by a floating point number, and it takes 9 of these resize cycles for it to actually move, but it's actually moving every single time, and we just can't see it. So like this is being called. But wait, this only changes when the size of the tree changes. Let's just print out here. G.print clamping. Because I don't think this is happening that many times. Okay, so it didn't print it all yet, right? No. So I build this thing, I do this. It still has not print clamping. I'm going to open this on my other screen. It says clamping once. But it does that slidey thing with a hand. So it's probably not the clamping thing then, because that can only happen one time. And it clearly bumps by more than 1 pixel. So like if we look at this, okay, so now I'm going to slow it down. So here it is in real time. It moved left, 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 left. It moved like 6 pixels to the left. It looks like it's tweening over there. Maybe something changed the position at ready and that... No, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it could be the clamping interacting with the tween. That we try... Yeah, maybe it's that. That's a shame. Clamp to screen. Do we even need the clamped screen? If I cut this out, I guess that'll test it. Yeah. And then let's go to main and cut out the skip intro. True. Skip, yeah. Okay, so no intro. And now I don't think we're going to see this thing move anymore. This will at least tell us that it was due to clamping. No, it's still moving. So it doesn't have to do with clamping. What? What else moves the X position? Something outside of this class must do it. Map nudge. Add nudge to start button. Just calls add child. Huh, that's weird. I don't know what would move this. The nudge itself doesn't have anything. It only has the tween. And I guess the other thing we could do is we could just get rid of the tween altogether. If this doesn't fix it, then it's a ghost. I just... Okay, it didn't move at all now. And the position it's at is here. Where did this even print? What happened? All of GIMP just turned dark. And I can't see any image sorts of things here now. Okay. There are 40 images with unsaved changes. You can't even see the bottom of this dialog to click close. Oh my god. GIMP, no. And I can't move this down so that I can resize it. And I can't resize it from the top of the screen. Oh, this is the worst. Why don't they test having 40 images open? How do you move this? Oh wait, everything just came back. Well, I guess I don't need to ever close the program now, except for yes I do, because look, none of this stuff is working. What is going on here? Yeah, it just crashed. Hey, weeps. Well, I think GIMP's still in the same general state it was in before. You installed GIMP 3.0.4. Can I not have this screen ever show again? And just go to create new image? All right, so that's what I wanted to paste in that whole time. So we can see is that this is pretty much right up against the border. And if we created a tween that didn't move the Y position at all, let's try this. So what this is saying is tween from XY to XY. That's it. So it shouldn't do anything. But I think we're going to see the hand move anyway. I want to see what the final resting position is. So this is, I should write this down. This is with the tween off. So let's get paintbrush, change the size a bit. I want something reasonable here. Tween off. And then with it on, wait. It still moved up, but it also moved to the side. Yeah, so obviously it moved by what, like, yeah, if this is 1 pixel, then it probably moved by about 3 pixels. Clammy doesn't even move the hand, just the panel to the left of it. Ah. I don't understand this. I don't get it. We delete this too. Does it still move? And if so, what in the world could possibly do this? I don't even remember what we were working on before this. Yeah, it's still moving to the side. It bumped itself up. I know you can't really see it because I'm blocking it with my camera, but it bumped itself up and to the left by like 4 pixels. So it does have to do with the tween, but I don't understand how this could possibly modify anything. Doesn't make any sense. It had to be something else modifying the position of this, which is maybe what's happening. We add this to a button. Yeah, that's probably what's happening somehow. The button itself is changing positions, maybe. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's print out the parent position. Parent position. And the parent is a control. Yeah. And then we need to print this out after some number of frames. So after, I don't know, 60 frames, print out the parent position. This node is positioned relative to the start button using anchors. Maybe that position takes a frame to calculate. That's what I'm thinking. Something to do with this new button. Although maybe this was already happening before and I just never noticed. So what I'm expecting to see now is whatever position prints out is going to change after a bunch of frames. But for whatever reason, I can't even click. I can't click the guild to build it. What? I can't click anywhere. What did I do? Oh, it thinks shift is... Oh, this is my mouse breaking. Hang on, I just got to plug in my mouse again. Okay, there, that should fix it. Yeah, every once in a while, for whatever reason, the mouse just flips out on me. Parent position 0, 0, 0, 0 again. Huh. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So start tween. Yeah, let's just run this on call 2 frames after. Set all this stuff back to what we had. Like all of this stuff, I guess. Start battle nudge can be exactly what it used to be. For the global position, yeah, that's probably what I should have done. I'm gonna just try delaying it anyway, because even if the button is changing, I don't think it's gonna tell us much. At least not about how to fix it. So where do we add this thing? Start battle nudge here. We go here it is. Start tween. Okay, so call next frame. And this comes from node extensions. All right. Let's try that out. That looks like it worked. Okay, so then that's what we're gonna do, I guess. Yeah. So let's put this code back to what it was. I don't think this thing needs to care about this. Actually, it kind of does. But I think we'll just put it in start battle nudge anyway. So start tween is actually going to wait to start the tween. We just need to await 2 frames. We could use this. Yeah, we could use this. Or I could just await this. You just make this an async task. Hey, Lupo. Morning. So await. Maybe this is not a good idea. Because I want to do this twice. And we can do this from here. And instead of this stuff, we just delete all of this, right? Yeah, this will technically work. I don't think it's the best. So what was wrong with it? Why did it break? So there's a lot of sort of complicated stuff that's happening here. Godot does not immediately compute the sizes of things. So if the frame that this shows up, you say, hey, what is the size of this button? Like we can see it's, I'm just estimating, let's say 200 pixels. Godot might be like, it's 0 pixels. And then the next frame, it's going to try updating it. But there are multiple containers here. And there's some like, when it shows, it's got to trigger something. And then when the container resizes, it's got to trigger something. So we need to wait for 2 frames and then it'll have the right size. Up until then, we can't count on this thing having the right size. So when we add our arrow pointing to this button, it's shifting because we're recalculating the size as it goes. And this tween is trying to like approximate it back to where it should be. Hey, Sejamar. Is there a thing like force draw before the first frame? I don't know. And yeah, if there were, then maybe this would help. And I think it would simplify a lot of our code because like this is super ugly to do this. Yeah, and actually the start tween thing that we want to do, I'll just make this public void. Yeah, start tween, get rid of the thing I put up here. And I think we'll make a private void start tween after delay. No, what am I doing? So this will be start tween after delay. And this will just be start tween. Yeah. Which is a shame. So this goes here, and this is just this code. There. Then this thing changes to start after delay. And then we write a comment about why this is so stupid. These line edit scroll and size change from nothing to almost correct size to final value. Yeah. Okay. So starts the position tween for the arrow. Unfortunately, the button that this arrow is added to seems to resize itself. So we have to wait a bit before starting the tween. All right, well, whatever. It fixes that problem at least. All right, so wait, what do we get back to here? So this thing, I'm going to check in this and, oh yeah, we're working on buttons getting highlighted. And I figured let's just remove this entirely, which never even probably worked. How do we check that? I guess we would just open up the saved version that I have. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. It'll be maybe 10 seconds. And then we'll know whether or not this worked. Because I think this was broken pretty much always. So yeah, all we need to do is hire the first adventurer and then click this. Yeah, it's not green. It was never green. Or if it ever was green, it wasn't green for very long. And by very long, I mean like number of commits, essentially. Okay. Well, cool. So check that in too, I guess. But not that part, just this part. Stage. Anything else? This needs to be checked in. Yeah. This does not. This does not. Then we don't need any of that stuff yet. And this only changed in adding shaders all over the place. Oh, we don't even need the shaders on the new button now. Oh, well, then we can delete all that. Fun, 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 fun. All right, so now what does that scene change look like? There should be one shader. So there's our highlight button shader. That's fine. Then we enabled it here, and then we put it on just the augment portal button. Yeah, that's all good. And everything else here should have to do with that code. Yes. So the only changes we do have are starting this after 2 frames and then not trying to color the button green again. All right, so fix the nudge in the tutorial. Due to the sizing of the start button, let's just get the name of it. Start battle button. the nudges tween would change its x coordinate, which led to weird behavior. Which led, well, not. I'll just say which looked weird, since it was only supposed to bounce up and down. And then the other thing we did is I also deleted the code that tried coloring the start battle button green, since it wasn't working even before this. The condition for setting it to green was basically never true. Yeah, the nudge should be enough. The giant arrow pointing to the button should be enough for you to notice it. No one's ever had a problem there. No one's gotten to that dialogue and they've been like, what am I supposed to click? Like the giant hand moving up and down has gotten everyone past this screen. Now, lots of people do end up clicking other things in here. That's fine. But like I said, no one's been like, I can't play the game anymore. So it's not like we need to color it green. So now what we have is the augment button being colored green. So I just load the game and then we go look at the portal button. Yeah, so this is highlighted green and it's actually shifting a little bit. In fact, we probably wanted to shift a little bit faster. So if we go to the highlight shader that we just made, instead of time, let's make it time times 2. And then we could look at this right in the editor. Where's the button? There it is. All right, so just enable this. So let's make it time times 20. Yeah, so that's terrible. 1 is too slow. What does 5 look like? Yeah, that's too fast. What's 3 look like? Better. 2. Yeah, I think 2 is pretty good. Maybe even a hair slower than that. 1.6. Yeah, that's perfect. Must go Busto. Thanks for the resub. Happy 3rd of a year. How you doing? All right. So yeah, so this is our way of pointing out buttons that you don't have to click, but that you should know that you can click. So yeah, I think the speed is fine. So we just pretty much need to move this somewhere. And we have node extensions. We could make canvas item extensions. Canvas item extensions. Save that as canvas item. And then move wherever that other thing went. Shader functions. I guess we're going to delete this whole file, right? Just put this over here. And say this. And that's it. Now delete that stuff. Delete this entire file. And then go back to battle panel tab, augment button. Where is it? Shader functions. There it is. So this is going to be this dot set can upgrade. And then just import the right thing. And stop importing that. Okay. All right. Well, that was a lot of time spent for, well, I guess we did 2 things. But yeah, coloring buttons green. I will say it should look a lot better now. The way we used to be doing it was we would take whatever button was there. So I'll just make a new thing. How do we do this? Close every other tab. And then put some text in here. This is an example. And then we give this the right theme. Quick load in the battle screen. What is it? What gives it the stone theme? There we go. Okay, yeah. So here's what we had. And then what we would do is we would modulate this to make it look green. So no matter what you do, you can see that it's changing an already colored background, which is like bluish gray, and then modifying it with green. So like we can't really get a brighter shade of green than this. If the button were white, then it could turn to like any shade of, well, any shade of anything, I guess, any shade of color. So instead what we did is we applied, so we got rid of that, and then we instead applied the shader material I just did, which now lets it go to bright green because it's just overriding the pixels essentially. And you can actually see that the small little textured dots disappear completely because of how we're doing this, which I think is fine. I don't think it needs to stay with that texture. And we could have this do anything. We could have it cycle through rainbow colors or something, or I don't know. There's a lot we can do, but I think this is fine. I think this will make it much clearer. You can click the button. And for my last trick, what if we lowered this even more? Would that look stupid? Yeah, that's a bit stupid. And what if we made this go like that and like that? No, I think it was probably fine how it was. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so let's go check that in. So we added the shader, we put it on the augment button. We've got our new shader. We've got this, and we call that here. So the only thing I'm missing is the UID file of the new thing. And we can get that by doing this. I want to push a new build. It's already almost 4 o'clock. Where does the time go? Make unlock. Look, what does it say? It just says unlock. Make unlock button more obvious. We used to modulate the button to make it green, but it wasn't white to begin with. So it was kind of ugly. I added a shader that'll be used instead now. Now for consistency, we could put that button everywhere. So for example, the town menu. Let's go open that town menu. Town menu has a bunch of buttons here. Let's just click this one and add a material and load in our highlight button. So this should be modulating. Oh, wait, is it? Yeah, it should be. I don't see it changing colors, right? Huh, let's get rid of this. That'll make it very obvious. Oh, now it's clearly working. Well, is it doing something right now and I just literally cannot see that there's a difference in green? Oh, wait. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay, it's because we are multiplying what is already set to 1 to try to be higher than 1, and there's no green color higher than 1. So we would need to actually lower this. All right, yeah. So this would be like minus, I guess let's get, how do I want to do this? We could just do this plus 1 and then divide by 2. So now it's only in the range of 0 to 1 and it's still sinusoidal. So we could do something like 0.7. Since you're multiplying, the base color will matter too. Yeah. Maybe that was a mistake. Like, should we try to find something that works on both white and on gray? Or should I just have like different formulas and you just specify what the starting color was? Probably we should just have it one universal thing. So this minus t times 0.3. All right, so now we'll notice a change at least. Yeah. And then this could just be the t value here. It could be like 0.7 plus t times 0.3. How did I break something? What happened here? did happen here. Sine plus 1 means it's going from 0 to 2. Divided by 2 means it's now going from 0 to 1. 0.7 plus 0 or 0.7 plus 0.3. What? It shouldn't ever be gray. I don't know how that's happening. What if I just delete this? Oh, I'm multiplying. Right. Keep forgetting that. Okay, so then I think we want 2 of these. Then it's just set color.g equals 0.7 plus t times 0.3. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. We have to multiply. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, man. All right, well, plus t, I guess, times 0.3. So that's good. It's kind of fading out at some parts. And I'm still not totally sure why it's doing that. Is this not white? I guess it's gray. What color is this? It is D8, D8, D8. So it is gray. What is OXD8? 216 divided by 255. So it's 15% off of white. That's why. Maybe mix it out the... Yeah, I really got to remember to just use mix by default. Color.RGB equals mix. So float vec A, vec B. All right, so color.RGB. Vec 3, we want like 0.7, 1.5, 0.7 T. No, wait, mix is not what we want because we want to multiply, right? Yeah. Here's Eco. I haven't changed any ad settings, so it must be something on Twitch's end or something in your stack, I guess. But welcome in. Sorry you're getting ads. This is decent. It's at least clear you can click this. So now what does it look like on the augment portal button? Battle panel. It's not bad. Hey, Zorky. What did this used to be? I should just copy what it used to be and see what the differences are. I guess we were just adding more to T. So it'd go from 1.3 to 1.7, whereas now it goes from 1 to 1.3. There's no real harm in having this do what it used to do for that, at least. 1.5. So it used to go from 1.3. So this times that. That'll be the same thing now from the green perspective. But red and blue are going to change a little bit more too. All right, so there's that one. And then what about in the town menu? Yeah, I think this looks good. So is it too much in the town menu? Like if you saw half of these buttons covered in covered in green, would that be frustrating or distracting? They should all be synchronized. Yeah, they are. I kind of like that. But it might attract your attention too much. That's a way to support you. Yeah, it is. I think I get something like half of the ad revenue. Make a color change if an action needs to be done in the option. Yeah, so this is one of the things, right? Needs to be done. These are things you can do because you have enough money. And knowing that you can do them is helpful. Like, oh, I can hire an adventurer. By the way, this is what it looks like now. They were already highlighted green. It's just they didn't flash. So the question is, should they flash? I think we need new buttons. Kind of feel they don't belong. Yeah, these don't have to be final. But if they're going to be these, should they flash or should they not flash? That's all. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So how about this? Let's just keep the change I made because this will make it work for the white buttons as well. And then we'll just check this in though. Yeah. So we'll delete this. Make highlight shader work for light buttons. The shader is still only on a semi-dark button in the battle map. But if we ever want to assign it to a light button, like in the town menu, it will now work with no changes. Change a specific shade and then multiply. Oh, right. Mix with not set. Because wait, did I don't remember what I had. No, I said it equal to mix. I think I don't know exactly what I should be doing there, but I like what's happening right now, at least for the upgrade button. Yeah, whether or not these things should change, we can always do some other time. All right, so skip this. Who cares? And then go back to whatever it was I was looking at before all of this stuff. I'm on the right branch at least. Now we got 5 changes. And what did we set out to do? Oh, these things. Right, everything in this. Okay, so this we're not going to do. And we probably want to play a bonk sound when we haven't unlocked the location. I don't think we're going to do that stuff. So what I do, I change the tip. Yeah. Okay. I just made some changes to address the remaining tasks. So what are they? This. Oh, I guess we can just copy them right from here. Yeah. I mean, this is why we should have made a PR, but I didn't. Update some wording to match unlock. Yep. Fix the nudge in the tutorial. This technically didn't need to be part of that. Make unlock button more obvious. And technically this one too. So close. All right. Done. I'm not doing this. I don't even think we ever should do this. I think it's a waste of time. So I'm deleting that. The problem that we have is we have some hard-coded levels here, max levels. And it's just not such a big deal. Like, if we ever add a level here and then we can't access it, then we'll hopefully find out that we can't access it. Then again, I guess changing this wouldn't take very long. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't. Okay, fine. I'll do it quickly at least. All right, you know what? Let's time this. If it takes longer than 5 minutes, we're just stopping and abandoning it. So there, time has started. So we do words of wisdom duration dot count -1. Just that bit, not the rest of this. Okay. Any other max level 2? Stealth durations dot count -1. Vampiric bite. How does it even know that it should come from here? I guess that. Does this even exist? Yep. Cool. Blessing of haste, open mind, duration dot count -1. Why can't that be found now? Cannot be applied to operands of type method group. This is not a list. Oh, I see. The percent bonuses though. Words of wisdom duration. What is this? Bursting horde. So this is summon zombie dot bursting horde. Where does this even come from? Where does this come from? Damage values per level. There's power scaling per level. Oh, it's a literal. Oh my god! So this does need to be hard coded to 2. Okay, that's the only one we use a formula for. Kind of funny. All right, so cloak of shadows, dot precision, power bonus count. What are we up to as far as time? Almost 2 minutes. All right, we probably actually will finish this. We have 30 more of these things though. Yeah, maybe not. At least the AI can help with some of this. This is crush dot concussive blow. Oh no, it's just power decrease %. Crush rage power %. It's empowered spell casting. That one's fine. Execute % life. Incredibly jarring seeing the new line. Yeah, I don't like that either, but that's a convention everybody uses, so I figured I might as well just stick with it. Yeah, welcome, Flying House. Hey, Tanaris, what AI do you use? It's figuring out what you want really quick. Yeah, it's Copilot. So Fatal Strikes is on Execute. Execute % life dot count -1. I think this should be 3, yeah. Fireball. Burn. Part of this is I made skills in different ways where either these constants were co-located or they were in a different file altogether. Yeah. Heal, regenerate, % count. All right, holy light. Yeah, this does kind of future-proof us here a bit. So holy charge, ray accrual. So if we ever add in another number, we don't need to do anything extra for this. Fortitude buff. Yeah, % power increase. These are the straightforward ones. These are the ones where they're co-located at least. That's why I was saying these ones are going to be quick. This is lightning zaps, echo strike. Poisonous skin. Lethality. This is zombie link %. Prey on the weak. What does that come from? Quick strike? Oh no, it's right there. It's damage bonus. I'm not paying attention. Quick strike cooldown values. How many more of these? 10 more? And how much time do we have? 30 seconds. Okay, I'll make a tiny adjustment for that because I was talking throughout this. Resonance just comes from that, yeah. Shield bash, double strike %. It should just kind of know what I want for any of this stuff, right? Split shot. All right, we're almost finished. Wild shot, pierce armor, wild shot, rapid shot. That is another one of these that this is not a list. Zombie leader. Was that summons? Oh, it's that % bonus. All right, that's everything. Okay, so it took extra 24 seconds. That wasn't too bad. Let's go run this and find out. How far along is the dev journey? A day 170-ish. So let me put it this way. The expected launch date is probably going to be around day 230, according to that. So you could sort of say we're 74% complete, but not really because of a bunch of other compounding factors. So yeah, anyway, we're about 3 months away from launching, I think. The reason I say there are compounding factors is my old schedule was basically just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, I would do other stuff, maybe YouTube videos or I don't know, some organization stuff. Now I'm going to try to stream 5 days a week if I can, but I'm not going to do. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to ramp up marketing. I'm going to do some other stuff. So yeah, probably about 3 months away. Hey, Southpaw, did you originally think it would take this long? So originally, what we started with was a game called Idle Ascendance, which was really just the prototype for this. And that we slated for 3 weeks, and it took 3 weeks because it was a prototype. So like I was just trying to finish it up. Then I was like, okay, let's make Skeleseller. And I thought it'll be that game plus a shop mechanic. And I think I planned on it being about 6 months back then. But it was very unclear what the scope of the game was supposed to be. And yeah, anyway, it was very unclear. So by the end of it, when all's said and done, it will probably take about 18 months if we launch when I'm planning on launching. And that'll be for V1, and then we'll probably support it for a bit longer. So I have tended to find that this will happen. You come up with a timeline, and then the timeline expands. And part of it too, I will say this. Let's say the game was going to fail no matter what. It would have failed faster than this. But at each checkpoint, people were like, hey, this is fun, but we'd like to see this. And so I was like, okay, let's go spend the time doing that. And then they were like, oh, this is fun, but what if you did even more? And it just kept progressing up and up and up. And now I think people are just like, okay, this is fun, but now we just want more game in general. It's like, you don't need to fix anything necessarily. It's just make more game. One guide scope creep. If you're talking about one guy from the point of view of how many people are working on this, there's more than just me working on this. I have the credits there. But scope creep can happen regardless of your team size. In fact, I'd sort of argue that scope creep happens based on your clients or customers more than it happens from the creator of something. For games, I can sort of see as a creator, you might be like, okay, now I want to add this feature and this feature and this feature. But ideally, you're testing to see if those features are landing. And at some point, people would probably be like, there's too much here. How much game time do you plan on having? We were always kind of aiming in the 5 to 10 hour range. And then for like replayability features, none exist yet, but they're planned. And depending on how these land, it could be forever in terms of replayable time. But the main game, I was thinking probably like, 5, 7, something like that, number of hours. Guess it's a contract game. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so we did this, and now what I need to do is look through every single ability and make sure nothing looks wrong. That should be fun, right? Okay, in general, the easiest way to do this is... Oh, we can't load up a save file. I was going to say we could just look through what the old counts were, but I think I generally know what they were. Yeah, this looks fine. 2, 2, 1. Yep. That's all fine. Spirit Caller has some weird ones. I had a bunch of 3s, and those are fine. In fact, actually, I wonder if Improved Snake Spirit should only have a max level of 2. That's not a bug. That's just a random design thought. But yeah, the rest of this is fine. All right, Warrior, you had just Survival Instinct. Everything else was fine. Yep. Witch Doctor had one for Zombie Legion, which, by the way, this is probably overpowered with just 1 level. I think what we need to do is say when an enemy dies, there's an X% chance that you summon a zombie, and X is like 40 and then 80%. Not always 100%. That's kind of crazy. These are all 2. I think that's not a problem. Dying Blow. Everything else is fine. Oh, wait. Any new adventurers wouldn't have even had these problems because I would have coded them afterward. Cool. Cool. All right, let's check in every ability getting modified. Should I even look at this? Yeah, we should probably make sure that names at least match. Yeah. Vampiric, Venom. We'd hopefully notice if we ever made a new bug here. Although some of these, like let's say I accidentally just limited an ability to level 1. No one will probably ever know or care. It won't have any impact on anybody. Yeah. All right. In fact, to the point where I don't think it's worth looking through all of this. Yeah. Okay, so stop hard coding max levels. I did this for most skills. For whatever reason, the max levels. Oh, I think I know the reason. I think the max levels were hard coded because we were calculating the values for any given level using a formula. So we needed to tell it when to stop at some point. Yeah. Streamer takes it seriously. Does it apply to everyone? Is that happening? I'm not paying attention. All right, so we're done with that. Did I mark that off the list? Yes. Now we want to add the snake into the intro. Oh boy. I want to publish a new build, but if I'm going to do that, I need to do that pretty much like right after I get done with this task. Otherwise, I'm going to be working for hours today. Well, hours more. All right, here's our cool little snake enemy. It's the one that kills you, and it's red and yellow. And you might have noticed that that's the color of... Oh, wait. Oh, we got to merge the PR. That's the color of the new panel snakes. Hey, Tarkus. Oh, I see. I see. Gotcha. All right, well, adding the snake should be dead simple. First, we save it. Oh, wait, actually, first we check to see if it was already saved. I might have put it inside the unused folder. How do we do this? There. Do we see a snake in here? We see big snake. Big snake is not the same as snake. Okay, so then no, we don't have this. So then we save this. Snake enemy. We'll just call it snake. All right, and then load that up by going over to here and finding where is snake. I have to delete buyer docs before I accidentally open that. May or may not have purchased something. Where is snake? Okay, I'm a little confused. Did I not download this? Oh, it downloaded into playtest. Oh, I want to download it into downloads. Okay. So now we put this over here inside of monsters. So there we go. There's snake. Now, changing this in the game is not hard, but we got to go update 2 different Steam pages as well. So intro battle. No, it's not even there. It's intro quest. The quest itself has the wrong graphic now. It has slime. Yeah, so if I show this, why can't I show this? Why is there a guild here? What? All right, there. There we go. All right, so we take the slime out of here and we just quick load in snake. And it should just work. Did we have a region that's not set after we do this? Oh, this was an atlas. All right, so we just want to load in a different atlas then. Snake being the atlas. Okay, so before the slime was facing right, now the snake is facing left. That doesn't seem right. I think the graphics are backwards. Yeah, they are. Okay, now let's open the GIMP and let's fix them. I guess it doesn't really matter for the snake enemy, but we might eventually put them in the game. So we should have them match. Let's also open up this. Just make certain I'm doing this correctly. So we're just going to invert each individual sprite. Yeah, that's it. But we can't just H-flip everything. We can only H-flip the these sorts of things. So can you do that from just what's selected? Tools, transform. Where's... Am I going nuts? Where's flip? How do you flip something? I don't know how you do this. Huh. Flip was there in transform and I just didn't see it. Move, crop, rotate, scale, shear, perspective, flip. Oh, nice. Thank you. All right, so now what do we do? Press enter? No. Merge down. Anchor. Okay, now we just do that 3 more times. You know what would be nice is having the grid on here. So horizontal every 16. Or is that what vertical should be? I don't actually know. Just make it pink. View, show grid. I just did snap to grid. Yeah, that makes it easier. Transform, flip. So it's Shift F. And then it is Command H to anchor. Okay, cool. I can't do Command H because I blocked that. All right, cool. So anchor down and then export. Hopefully we exported the right thing. Is it this one? Yep, nice. All right, so now in the game that should be facing the correct direction. It is. So it's saying go kill a snake. And now we can rename this to snake, I guess. And then set this back to reset. Hopefully that didn't just botch everything. I don't think it did. Then the intro battle, you're going to be fighting a snake now. So enemy sprite has the wrong animations. So just delete all of these. And go find snake. Assets, monsters, snake. 16 by 20. Done. And done. Cool. Let's play those animations. Oh yeah. This looks great. Look at that. I'd hate to fight that thing as my first enemy. All right, nice. We got a shadow on there and everything. So I don't think the slime shows up anywhere else in the start of the game. But let's just run the intro and we'll take a look. So how do I do this? We turn off debug, feature flags, debug, false. Then I want the audio to be on, get the full effect. All right, new game. Let's watch. Pop out of bed. Time for our first adventure. Guildmaster wants us to kill a snake. I wonder if you should play a hiss sound right there. Okay. And then that's it. I don't think a slime shows up anymore. Okay. Well. Nice. All right, so that was that task. Use snake in the intro. I just like the idea of a snake better than a slime. Modified this. So I need 2 things. Use the snake graphics he provides. Modify the Steam descriptions. That way it matches the Skeleseller wrap. That's right. Yeah, I like that YouTube comment. That was pretty funny. All right, this will look good. So the only question I have still is, should we play a hiss sound? Because we have some hissing sounds that I don't think we use anywhere. Let me take a look. Hiss. Wait, we don't? Snake? Snake attack. Oh, no, we do have a snake in the game. We have the friendly snake. So we could play one of these. But I don't think it would fit in the quest part. I think it might fit when they're attacking you. Do we play a sound effect right now for that? Turn this off. Where's the battle? Here it is. Start scene. Oh, a sound effect would be played through the battle script. So it'd be over here. There probably is a sound. Yeah, there it is. Basic attack. Damage enemy. Why would that play basic attack? And damage player. So that sound poison hit. That's the bubbly sound. Like, I wonder if it should sound like a hiss. Which one of these did we already use? Snake. Snake damage 1. Where's that? Here. Does that sound like a better sound for poison there? Huh. I don't know. I think it would sound better. The enemy only attacks you once, right? Let's just go try it out. So instead of poison hit, we'll call this snake bite. And we'll go run it. Except for now, I don't think we can possibly get back into the intro. The cutscene, I mean. Nope, wait, yeah, we can. Nice. Wait, did I reload this? I think this is all a waste of time. Because I don't think I ever reloaded this. Oh, nice. So did that sound good? It was like a little hiss sound. I'm gonna watch it one more time. Might want to raise the volume a little bit. Hey, Mandarinia, excuse me. Yeah. All right, let's keep it. Yeah. I think it's good. Add snake to intro. This replaced the slime. It makes a hissing sound when attacking rather than the bubbly poison sound. What class was the player adventurer in the intro? I was picturing like a red mage, like in Final Fantasy. So some attacks, some magic, like offensive magic, some healing magic. Basically an all-rounder. Not that it matters. But that's just what I was picturing in my head for that. So they have a dagger, and they never use magic. And presumably, even if they could use magic, they'd probably be pretty low level at that point. All right, so we swapped out all the frames. This stuff's all good. And that's that. All right. So commit that. I'm going to go modify the Steam page. Actually, I should just do that tomorrow. No one's going to actually read it, right? No one's going to be like, oh, you got killed by a slime. Yeah, poisonous slime. Oh, wait. Oh, the graphics even wrong. Okay. So I didn't realize we put the slime right on the main page. Oh, well, whoops. All right. I guess that's something we'll update tomorrow. Yeah, update the Steam page. Use a new GIF for the slime battle and update the text to say snake instead of slime. Do both of these things on both pages, demo and release. Essentially brand new to programming, 3 months in, nearly 40 years old, and like game programming. Messed around with some 2D physics games, boat related, all made from scratch engines. Really struggled to grasp Godot's design flow, and I've been mostly programming hands-off mouse. Any resources you value for using these GUI tools, or is Godot maybe a bit too much for a beginner? I think Godot is good for a beginner. Resources for using the GUI tools, I think what I'd say to start with is Godot's Getting Started Guide. It's really, really good. And I'd say at least read through this very first thing. This is super important, but probably all of this is good. So I'll link this in the chat. Then any sort of tutorials you might find, I actually even made one if you want to take a look. You don't have to. I'm not really making money off of this other than the ad revenue, I guess, which is basically nothing. But I have a playlist from like 5 years ago and I made a Godot, where is it? Here. So I made a game. Where is it? Where is that game? This. I made this game, and this is what the set of videos teaches you how to make, and the code for this is also available. So it's not a pretty looking game, but you can pick a character. So let's say we pick mage here, and then it spawns you into this world, and then my keyboard is not WASD, so this is very hard to control, but you can move around, you can shoot, you can use skills. There are sounds that I think I have turned off right now, and it spawns in enemies somewhere. Yeah, there are some enemies shooting at me. So this is like a Realm of the Mad God kind of clone. And you level up and you get more skills, or you get faster. You can go to different parts of the world. So it's a relatively basic game. But yeah, if you want to see kind of what went into this, I take a very code focused approach, but you can do a lot of that through the Godot engine if you want to. But yeah, if you don't want to do that stuff, I would say in general, your best friend inside the editor is just right clicking something and going down to open documentation, and it'll tell you all about whatever that node is. So if you click this add button at the upper left, just kind of poke around. What are the different nodes? What are the different controls? And like, why might you want to use these? Just take a look. I mean, in this case, I think they put a basic description at the bottom. But if you add it into your thing, then you can right click it and go to open documentation and be like, oh, okay, this is a menu bar. Cool, I understand. And, you know, mess around, see what it looks like, see how it interacts, see if it's what you want for your thing. The other thing I'd recommend is this, games to make as a new dev. So there is a list of games here. It starts with Pong. Let's say you want to learn Godot. What's really nice about this is that you don't need to focus on, well, what game am I going to make? And then how do I go get all these things to be fun and for them to work? It's like, cut through all of that, just learn the engine, go remake Pong. When you're done with that, go try Flappy Bird. When you're done with that, you know, maybe you don't need to stick to all 20 of these, but if you did want to follow a sort of curriculum, you could go make more of them. And maybe pick and choose which ones look interesting to you. They're generally based on increasing difficulty of what you need to do. So Pong for sure is super easy. There's only 2 buttons you can press, up and down. And maybe you put a title screen, maybe not. But like the AI is just move up if you need to move up, move down if you need to move down. The ball is pretty easy. Even something like Super Mario Bros. Is going to be a lot harder than that because you'll have platforms and power-ups and yeah. Have a good luck on the journey. I think game dev is a lot of fun, and there is so much depth in every direction, and a lot of it is very obvious. Like you're thinking about it probably from coding and engines for right now, but let's say you want to get into music. It's like you could spend 10 years just working on game music or artwork or the story or any number of things, animations. Yeah. And I like that about games, but I also think it means that to make a cohesive game means you need all of those things to be firing on all cylinders. And that's pretty tough. And people are forgiving to some extent. You probably played a game that was really fun and didn't have great music. or a game that was really fun and didn't have good graphics. But generally, you can't sacrifice too many of those things. You have a game that has bad music, bad graphics, bad storyline, people probably just won't play it. All right, so I'll upload a new demo right after. This was just so there weren't any inconsistencies. All right, I definitely want to do this, but the way I look at it is, it's 423. So we either choose GIFs or publishing a new build. I'm very nervous about publishing another demo because we haven't tested it for a very long time. And people are playing the game. You know, I don't think I can do justice to a release right now. I feel like I've just been going slowly in the last week, though. Did I make good progress today? Oh, the other thing I couldn't do justice to is I didn't include the PR for the boss thing. Maybe we should just do that. Yeah, maybe GIFs after the elite panels merged. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oops. All right, what did we do today? Merged PRs. What did I do? Worked on adjacent tasks for that. I feel like I was doing a lot today, but I look back and I'm just like, what did that all amount to? And not in like a defeatist way, just literally, what did I do? It was 6 hours and what, 47 minutes? Well, whatever. I'll figure out the GIFs and the PR thing, I guess. Looking for a comfy town building pixel art camera from Upgame. Not even joking. And you're gonna reach out to them, right? In perfect fluent Finnish. Dang, you streaming late today. Hey, Skater Cat. Thanks for the resub. Yeah, it's later than I normally stream, that's for sure. I want to do another couple little things if I can. But yeah, it's been longer than I probably should be streaming for. All right, custom styling for elite battles. So what had I just said before all this? Oh yeah, this thing. Went ahead and added the margin container. Let me know what you think. Also makes it so you can't drag the windows such that the borders off screen, which is nice. I specifically omitted the bottom ones and it messes up with the dock state. Feel free to add a test. Yeah, okay. 1101. I can try. It's almost like a too good opportunity. Yeah. I'd appreciate it if you could. I mean, those are the kinds of things that I either can't reach out to these people in this case because there's a language barrier, although I guess they need to be able to speak English to enjoy the game right now, or I would just never find it. So if for whatever reason you find their contact and you're like, you know what, I don't want to email them, I don't mind reaching out. I think it'd probably mean more from a listener of them, especially because they just said this thing. So they'll be like, wow, someone found me this game. All right, so what am I testing here? I am going into this and I am clicking this button. Solo gate user, I'm very different from this. Yeah, I think, this is one of the nice things about streaming. I feel like in general, if you're a professional developer even, how often are you watching someone else code or you're learning about their workflow? You'll still talk to them and you'll learn about it asynchronously, but pair programming isn't super common. So yeah, being able to see how someone else does things or what tools they're using, and even little things like I don't particularly love GIMP, but let's say you've never seen someone edit an image like this. Or I guess a better example is when I'm taking screenshots of something and I'm like, oh yeah, check out this line and actually just don't look over here. That's private and that's private. And I draw some arrows or something. And you're like, whoa, how's he doing that? Like even these tools, they're good to learn about. Okay, so here's the cool new feature we have. We are gonna unlock this and go here, which we can't do, but then we're gonna do that and check this out. If only Matt were still here. So we now have this border with the snakes and the bones. Looks great. And if we start multiple of these battles, let's go start one of those and one of those. Oh. When a window is docked, you can now move it a little bit. That does not seem like something we want. Although I think trying to move a window that's docked should just undock it. Docked boss windows can be moved. slightly. Probably just detach them when that happens, when you move them. All right, where'd the last one go? Didn't I start 3? Did I not start 3? Oh, I apparently only started 2. Okay, that looks good. That's also good. I think being able to move them off screen would be okay, at least so that the border of the window. Wait, will this mess people up if they were just fighting in, let's say, the forest? So now this is going to change. Let's just make them invincible. Speed this up. Oh, now you can't move this against the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I think that is not what I would expect. Can't move an undocked window to the bottom of the screen, or like flush with the bottom of the screen. What about when it's smaller? Can it move there? Okay, when it's smaller, it looks like it can. And when it's smallest, well, it's only the biggest size that seems to have a problem. Oh, and not even anymore. That's strange. Huh. So it's when... Wait, no, even this one doesn't do that. What? Okay, I quit the battle. I went to the forest. And then something happened. Yeah, it bumped upward, and now I can't move it to the bottom. Okay, so that's a problem. Fight in the forest, or fight a boss with a big window. Change to the forest in that same window. You now can't move big undocked window. Yeah, you can't move the window flush with the bottom of the screen. Probably that also caused the issue when scrolling. Interesting. Okay, but wait, none of this was actually the thing I was supposed to be testing in typical Adam fashion. So what we wanted to test was 3 battles over here so that they all have the border, and then we dock them all. Oh, this looks great. This looks so cool. Yeah, I like it. Wow, yeah. Oh my God, this is like the greatest. Love this panel. The snakes, the bones. It's great. Yeah, by the way, part of what happens right now in the game is people get into a boss battle and they're like, why'd the window get big? And they don't realize necessarily that this is a boss. I think with the snakes and the bones here, it's going to help. But I also think that if we just put the boss on top of the canyon, it's going to be even easier to tell. Hey, Vhor. Or Vor? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Wait a second, you've been here before. How have I been pronouncing your name? Do I have this written down? No, I don't. Huh. Need you just to say, yeah. Okay, so that's something you said you knew about. Let me write this down. Docked boss window is going to be moved slightly. Okay, so some observations from testing this out quickly. Probably just detach them when you move them anyway. And repro, fight a boss with an undocked window, change the forest. Okay, so what was this about? This makes it so you can't drag it such that the border's off screen, which is nice. Specifically omitted the bottom one since it messes with the docked state. Usually the bottom should be off screen. Feel free to add it to test and see which one you prefer. What does that part mean? How do I view this particular thing? Hey, Sarah, it's going well. I was just saying I'm not totally sure what I did today. I put in a lot of time, and I think that's all that really matters at this point is that I'm moving something forward and putting in time. But I think the general goal for July has to be this stuff. Like add anything that's new. That way we can start stabilizing it. Need to finish extracting strings and then getting people to localize stuff. Getting people or AI. Yeah. Is it even stable? Yeah, it's stable. I've been using it now for like 15 months. But did I use C# back in 2020? I don't remember. Yeah, the only thing that's not working, as far as I know, is web exports. You can't web export the C# versions that you make, but that will happen. They've proven that it's possible, and they just need to get some things together, I guess. I myself am not counting on that, but if you are counting on that for your game, it's probably best to just do it in GDScript for now. Did I review everything? I think I said I did review everything. So I would just need to review the new stuff. Yeah, I reviewed the code and it looks good. Okay, well then let's look at the new stuff. Changes from... Oh, I never reviewed it. Oh, drat. So I need to look at which commit it was on when I reviewed it. Or I never officially reviewed it. So D249 is what we've looked at. Oh, there's only one commit. Okay, ADD. That's what we're looking at. Add. There. Okay, so a margin container now exists here. That's fine. We now have a margin defined there. We get the margin container. Okay, this is all super straightforward. Oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying try it with the bottom margin if we want. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Let's see what it's like now. So here you cannot move this bottom white bar off the screen. And if we try with a regular battle, you can't move that off the screen either. I don't remember how this used to work. So I don't know if that's already jarring to me or not. This feels natural enough. So if we were to get it to work, we would do this. And then I guess save the game, quit, and reload. I'm gonna also sit down, standing for the entirety of the afternoon. Pretzel. With the elite one, you kind of can see the corners. You also want to check out the docked state. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's start with making one of these battles. And then let's make one of these battles. Turn on invincibility so I never have to wait. And then do that. Cool. Okay, so this... Oh, that is very jarring. No, I don't think I would expect this at all. In the docked state... Oh yeah, I definitely don't expect this. No, yeah, I don't like that. I like what it was originally. So yeah, let's keep that off. I definitely prefer what you settled on in this commit. Yeah. Add single comment and resolve. All right, so it's just this stuff. But I already said I'm not going to push another build now. So again, note to self. I'll just write in the last one. Edit. If these things are fixed, then I think we're good to merge. Ewanakis, how's your Monday? Do you stand the whole morning until lunch? Have you ever used or thought of using an under-desk treadmill? I haven't been standing a whole lot while working, but my hamstrings are really tight right now. I was deadlifting yesterday and I don't think I hurt myself, but like they're way tighter than normal and I'm not sure why. And then two, the under-desk treadmill. Some friends of ours didn't need this like really narrow treadmill that they have, so they offered it to us and my wife took it. And I think it's meant to be an under-desk treadmill sort of thing, but I think it'd be very distracting. Like I'm already streaming I'm already coding. I think adding walking to that would probably be too much for my brain to handle. But I kind of want to try it. It's just, it's also like a big change. There need to be enough space. So the green screen's like right here. You can see I'm hardly moving my hand, and then I'm already like touching the green screen. So I can hardly even move my chair back. So I don't know if the treadmill would even fit. I'd probably have to get rid of the green screen. So yeah. 10 reps, well, only 8 reps for 700 pounds. Are those your employees, or is it an open source project? It's contract work. So it is not open source. I think it's good. It takes time to get used to. Yeah, that's the other thing, I guess. I can't just try it for one stream and be like, oh, I didn't like that. I probably need to just stick with it for a week or two. With that said, I think it would be cool to try. I'm just probably not going to put in the effort. To give you an idea of the other sort of thing that is kind of frustrating about the setup for the stream, if I ever do a music stream, just setting up the audio interfaces, the piano in here, the cameras and whatever else, even that is enough setup and teardown, because I just don't do it that often, that I'm like, oh, I gotta do that again. Oh, we should probably switch back to main at this point. I was squatted 1,240 pounds before that. You know, I've never shared lift numbers on stream, and I still don't ever plan on it. But there are certain numbers that I've kind of wanted to hit in my life, and I feel like the window for hitting them is probably closing. They're not like superhuman levels of strength or like Olympic level of strength, but like based on my lifestyle, how I eat, etc., etc. Are your branches ahead? Don't forget to push. Let's go push. I actually didn't look at this when I looked at the commits earlier. Okay. That's fine. Just walking, so it was taking roughly the same space as the chair. Interesting. Yeah, the unit that we got, it does have like a head to it that has enough space, and that would go under the desk. But for the walking part, I don't know how much runway you need. It's quite the emote there. All right. So the gifts, let's go look at this. I've had this on my list forever, and I really want to try this, and we need to do it like in the next 2 days. So yeah, I was looking at this demo, and look at their videos. These are super crisp in terms of colors. And I don't know what tools they use to do this. The frame rates aren't super high, and they don't really need to be. But yeah, just color-wise, like there's no blurriness or anything. Then you look at my page, and there's a bunch of dithering going on. Like, look at this. If we zoom in on this, you can see these little like plus signs. That is not intentional. And it's some GIF artifact from whatever I'm using. So I want to try making them using this tool if I can. GIF ski. So how do we get this? GIF ski encoder, which converts videos to GIF animations using Pinquan's fancy features. Interesting. If you don't have a video, you can try out the app with this one. How do you download this? Download on the App Store. Have I ever even used the App Store on this computer? Hang on a second. Engage privacy mode. App Store. What's new on the App Store? It's trying to tell me about Apple Arcade. A more powerful search. Use natural language to find what you're looking for. Okay. Well, I definitely can't show this on screen. But if I download anything with this, what do I... Oh, I've downloaded a few things. Okay. The screen is tiny. Yeah. It's my anti-hacking. Hey, James, how you doing? There may be downloads on GitHub. I mean, I don't mind installing it just through this, right? Plus, yeah, I don't mind installing through this. It's free. Install. Hang on a second. Engage privacy mode. I'm not sure what this is going to show. Yeah, okay. Authorized transaction. It said free, right? What? It just says get on the button. That means it's free, doesn't it? Why does it say authorize this transaction? Is that just what it says for everything? I don't even know what my password is. Your Apple account password is incorrect. I don't know what this is. I never use this thing. Hang on. I'm sorry. I didn't expect this to take as long as it is. I thought I'd just click a download button. What is my Apple account password? Apple ID. Okay, I found it. To my password manager, at least. So it is equal to Command V. Whoa, that's a ton of characters. Must have made some like 64 character password. All right, require password for additional purchases. Always require. Require after 15 minutes. How about that one? Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. So we're downloading this thing. Now I'm going to click open, and here we are. Welcome to GIFski. Keep in mind that the GIF image format... Wait a second. I'm sorry. What does GIF stand for? Graphics interchange format. So this is saying graphics interchange format, image format. All right, sure. Is very space inefficient. Only convert short video clips unless you want huge files. If you have any feedback, bug reports, etc. Okay, so get started. So we just drop a video onto here. GIF. Doesn't you have to manage your passwords? Yeah, I use KeePass. I think I have a command for that. I do, but apparently capitalized. Oh my god. I eventually learned how to type. Okay, so video. Let's go take a video of something in Skeleseller. I don't know, this. So we're going to open up cap. And we're going to drag a rectangle. We're just waiting for the rectangle thing to pop up. Maybe we need to click this. All right. All right, now I hit record. Gonna wait a few seconds. And let's stop it. Okay, so how long of a video did we get? 7 seconds. Yeah, sure. So we're gonna hit save to disk at, I guess, 60 FPS. That way we can figure out, oh, you can only save at 30? Wait, why? Oh, because I'm saving as a GIF? I want to save as a video. Whoops. Oh, God. Computer. All right, does that let me go to 60? No? What? Capture frame rate. Oh, 60. Oh. So now I got to recapture it? Okay, fine. Should make the whole B movie as a collection of thousands of GIFs. Yes. All right, so we got 11 seconds. Yeah, sure, that's fine. All right, I want to set this to 60 now, and I want to save it as an MP4. Convert. All right, we're going to save this in temp for now, I guess, in the delete me folder, and call this test battle capture. All right, this shouldn't take too terribly long. Yeah, that was super fast. Also, super small. Wow. So now we just drop that on a GIFski. So temp, delete me, and GIFski. Okay, what are we doing here? Estimated size needs to be under 5 megabytes. And the frame rate's already set to 10. If we speed this up, it'll cut it down. How much can we lower the frame rate? How much do we have to lower the frame rate to get it down to 5? Oh, God. Like 3 frames per second. Yeah, that would do it. Actually, is that 3 frames per second? That actually doesn't look too bad. Is it? I guess we can try dragging this and see. Does it get smoother? No, there's no way this is actually changing this, right? All right, let's just hit convert and see what happens. Oh, this is super fast too. I expect this to take forever. Go ahead and drag the thumbnail to the Safari or Finder. You can also press space to enlarge it. All right, no, 3 frames per second looks like garbage. Okay, so we can't do that. But the resulting GIF does look really good. So we don't have any dithering. So I wonder, can we go back now? Yeah, what I want to try is, okay, it's 10 frames per second, but let's shrink the size. So if we do 57%. Oh, in fact, we could go figure out what size we need on Steam. I wrote something somewhere here. 616 is the max width. So we can't even use something that's 640, but I guess that's a pretty good starting point. But yeah, even this, it says it's going to be 6.5 megabytes. Plus, does it even look good? Let's convert it and see. I mean, it looks great. Yeah. Wow, I'm impressed. This is pretty nice. All right, so then we'll just lower it to the next possible size. Oh, wait, we could probably do a custom size, right? Yeah, we can. Can we just change this to 616 and it'll change it? Nice, 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 nice. All right, so then we lower the frame rate a bit and we get it down to 5 megabytes. What about, needs to be under 5. But technically this might actually be under 5. All right, let's try this one out. So convert this. We can also lower the quality a bit. We can't see what that does though. And we can even trim the time. Yeah, anyway, this tool is great. I think this is fantastic. So we could trim this a little bit and try to get it even smaller. Maybe even raise this now. All right, I'm going to hit convert. What does this look like? Yeah, so that's kind of the problem, right? This frame rate is too low. It probably works for a Steam page. And if we crank the frame rate any higher, like if we set it to 20, this goes up to 10 megabytes. And then we'd have to like drastically lower the quality. All right, let's see what it would look like if we set it to whatever the highest quality is. It gets us to 5 megabytes. Because we probably end up with those dithering effects when we try to shrink this. Yeah, so that's 4 megabytes right there. Let's try that. What are your thoughts on daily quests? Daily quests usually feel like a chore to me as a player. And as a developer, they're mostly psychological hooks to get you to keep playing the game. Oh, well, that like drastically overestimated how big this would be. And even quality-wise, this still looks pretty good. Yeah, we can definitely find a set of parameters here that's going to allow this to work. Well, well, well. So what if I set this to 30 and then convert it? Is it possible to compress a GIF? I think a GIF is a set of individual frames as far as I understand. So you'd compress each individual frame, which is what this is doing by using ping quant. Ping quant is lossy compression, but not visible to the human eye. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Right? Yeah. Wow, I am very impressed. This is, it's faster, it's better. And other than it nagging me to rate it, yeah, it's just better than Cap for this stuff. And we can still use Cap to record the screen. So this workflow is wonderful. What's the size here? It is the largest size that Steam allows on the page. So 616 in width. You can technically have any height that you want, but I recorded it in such a way that it keeps the aspect ratio and then sets it to 416. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. Okay, so let's screenshot this page. And I'll write this here. We can actually do this on stream at some point, but definitely not now. I'm like way beyond the time I should have stopped. I could even pump the quality. Well, a little bit. I don't know how much more I could push that and still have this end up the size that it can be uploaded at. But yeah, I'm very impressed. Oh wait, that's not the right thing. Wait, where's that? Where is it exporting this? I don't think it's exporting it anywhere. I think it told me to drag it. I think I have to. Oh. That's not good. Yeah, I think I lost that. Did I? Or is that it? No, I think I lost it. Oh, well, whatever. We could just re-export it, I suppose. But yeah, let's actually do that. So let's get the exact same settings we just had, which was this stuff. This is 616, 30. Yep. All that's the same. Okay, convert. But this time, I'm going to drag it over to here. Why is it taking forever now? I wonder if it cached all the frames before. I ran it like 40 times. I'll drag this here. And now there's our GIF. Get info. It is 2 megabytes. Wow, this looks fantastic. I am so impressed by this. Wow. This is like the way to record GIFs. All right. Yeah, let's go find someone to raid. Today has been probably productive, if I could remember what I did. And we're going to do it again tomorrow. Well, actually, we're going to do it for a little bit tomorrow. I'm going to only stream in the morning, I think. What am I doing? I'm trying to find someone to raid. All right, let's see who's online. Just scroll through the old list. I think I'm gonna find someone new to raid. Yeah. All right, raid channel. Man, it's so nice just ending my stream sometimes. Like, I like raiding people. I like kind of keeping everyone in the community, but sometimes I just want to walk away from my computer. And I always kind of feel like a jerk when I do that. All right, let's raid this person. I will raid them. Where did chat go? I don't even know where chat went. There it is. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, tomorrow will be a half day. I'm going to be probably working more than half a day, but I only like streaming in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then remember, Friday, there won't be a stream at all. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. See you later.